Good day to you all. Hi, Zeke. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing swell. Except, I'm a little upset. I was reading on Smelly Fart News that you've been wiretapping my microwave.
I thought that you knew.
What? I mean, I knew you had some cameras in certain places in my house, but my microwave? That's
Well, I want to
taking
know
it too
what I
far.
want to know what you're up to. I mean, it's for your own. It's for your own good. I'm trying to help you out. I want to. I
Look,
mean, if you weren't microwaving your chicken correctly, then I would be like, I'd call you up and be like, hey, you need to add like 2 minutes,
of
and
everybody in
just
the world,
randomly.
of everyone in the world, you should know the only thing I'm putting in that microwave is SpaghettiOs. 7 times a day, like the doctor ordered, okay?
And I'm a little concerned that the doctor didn't tell you to take them out of the can first.
I like the sparks. It looks neat to me.
It's like the 4th of July every morning.
Don't. It brings joy to my morning, okay? Okay.
See, I don't even need an alarm clock, because when you do that, I'm up. I'm like, oh, God, there's a fire somewhere. It's just Rob.
Yeah,
Making
it
SpaghettiOs.
makes a lot of sense why the firefighters keep showing up every goddamn morning.
You're probably the reason that they're burning down Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas right now.
How, sir, that is a allegation. Do you have any a dire allegation? Do you have any proof to this?
You got into the heads of the youths there, and they started microwaving canned SpaghettiOs.
They like the sparks. It's neat.
I mean, I like the 4th of July just like any communist, but I don't understand why you need to do it every morning, that's all.
Boys gotta eat. Duh.
Obviously.
Did you say you're a communist? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, you'd hear it correctly. Obviously, it's not.
Not
true.
even gonna deny it, huh?
I'm striving for more than sharing everything with you for the rest of my life. So
That sounds just great.
so when you eat these now, these hot SpaghettiOs, I don't have cameras in the microwave. I just have the wiretap there, as you well know. Do you
Right.
eat them, consume them like Popeye?
I wish I was that strong, but I don't even know how to open cans. So I pretty much I was raised by goats. I don't know if you knew that. So I eat the can and throw away the SpaghettiOs because those are
That
gross.
makes sense. That makes.
But
a lot
yeah,
of
it
sense.
does make me
You just
good-
like the warm metal.
Yeah, I do like some good warm metal. Yes, sir.
All right, I can appreciate that.
Thanks. You're a good friend. Did you know
You're
that?
like a Rob on a hot tin SpaghettiOs can.
I guess I am. If you say so. You know best. Zeke knows best. That's a TV show we're gonna do. Zeke knows best.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge hit in unpopulated markets.
Well, I like everything we do. We'll have fun with it.
We
at least.
start small and go out of business.
It's the only way to do it.
I don't know how to do it any other way. Nor would I really want to. I feel like we got this market cornered, enclosed, trapped, and tied up in the basement.
We will take mentors, though. We will protege you into our vastly unsuccessful lives. If
We're taking you with us.
that's
We're all in this together.
Red Green. I miss that show. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I do too. I catch it every once in a while if I'm in a random like PBS broadcast network. But I do have one. I think they did 2 movies. I have one of them.
I didn't even know there were movies. Cool.
Yeah, I think he does still do solo tours though. Bless his
Yeah.
soul. So I'd love to see
Cool.
that.
You know what my only complaint about it is?
What?
One time I put my stick on the ice.
Oh,
Well, you
can't
know
do
what I
that.
mean
You
by
know
stick.
better.
And
do know.
it kind of got stuck at a. I don't know. Have you ever seen Joe Dirt with the dog? It's pretty similar situation. Only I had to
No.
wait for the spring thaw, so it was.
I understand how that would be uncomfortable in the moment, but I mean you got to appreciate the story you got out of it is invaluable. Can't put a price on a good story.
Can never put a price on a good story. You're right.
Plus, it is
so.
just the tip. You're okay.
I did just lose the tip. That was all. Luckily.
I mean, eventually frostbite gets the best of us.
Even the strongest man gonna get it. He gonna get that frostbite.
Yeah, and I think Red Green understands that.
Yeah, he does. Anyways, thank you, Red Green, for helping me lose just the tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were able to work that into a vernacular conversation, so I'm really grateful that we spent all those hours watching that growing up.
It paid off, didn't it?
In aces.
Say, Zeke, did I or did I not challenge you? I don't know if it's a challenge per se, but no, it's not even a challenge. Hey, speaking of which,
It's an assignment.
Assignment. I think it's theme song time. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Zeke Week. Zeke Week. Zeke Week.
Incoming.
More frightening every week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those attacks are getting heavy. We're taking it. We're getting heavy artillery shells coming in. So.
Yeah, I guess so. Jeepers, creepers. Anyways, for new listeners, this is a segment where Zeke and I speak about a movie we've watched in the past week. We challenge each other to pick a movie for the other one to watch. We'll get a little more into that, I suppose, at the end. But anyways, this week it was Evil Dead 2.
The deuce.
The deuce.
Dropping the deuce on me.
Now, Zeke, watching this, last week you had said that you'd watched Evil Dead 1 with me, but I was kind of thinking maybe you'd watch this one with me and not Evil Dead 1. Did it seem like you'd seen this before or no?
No, I don't. So, having watched this, I had no recollection of it. I was thinking of it as I watched it, trying to figure out how I had made it this far in my life without really understanding the chainsaw arm relationship. Like I had watched 1 and skipped to 3 and thought, yeah, that makes sense. So I appreciate the assignment because it kind of now my purpose is fulfilled, I guess, in life.
Well, it's at the very least, it's a pretty iconic, image. Ash with this sawed-off shotgun, double barrel, and the chainsaw hand. For
Absolutely.
Sure. I think a lot of people probably have not seen it, but they at least know that it's a thing. Like, oh, the chainsaw hand guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I appreciated. So I was watching it on Amazon, and Amazon does this really cool thing for those of you who don't watch your films on Amazon, where when you pause it, like it gives you trivia and tells you who's in the scene, which is awesome.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. So there was a lot of added information that I was not privy to that I wouldn't have even known really about had I just watched it on TV. But I thought that was a fun way to get a recap on it. And I'm still a little confused, having said that, as to this is not a remake of the first one, but it's not a straight up sequel either, right? It's somewhere in the middle because there was a rights dispute.
I'm fuzzy on the details too. Being an Evil Dead fan, I should know what it is. But yes, post Evil Dead, the original Sam Raimi had gotten a little more famous. I can't remember if he wrote like Hudsucker Proxy. You ever heard of that film?
I did not realize he wrote that. I thought that was just a Coen Brothers movie.
I'm not so sure he wrote it, but he met the Coen Brothers and they worked a lot together. So
that is just stupid. That's awesome.
Yeah,
right.
It worked out really well for him. So, anyways, I'm probably wrong on him writing the Hudsucker Proxy, but through his relationship with the Coen Brothers, I think one of them edited some of the Evil Dead. I think that's how they met. Because Raimi's from Michigan, they're from Minnesota, not so crazy far away. Maybe
Midwest is Midwest. If you're on the coasts, it might as well all be one state.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I did find Lil Raimi in the movie.
You did.
And I think that's how they should credit him, is Lil Raimi.
Lil Raimi. For viewers, real quick, that's another feature of Zeke a Week is just started. Jesus. Does that hurt Does that hurt your throat? Oh, thank you.
It would, except I've over the last 32 years of my life been trying to destroy my voice so it drops an octave anyway. So I feel like eventually I'm doing us all a favor.
Better learn sign language. Anyways,
I got the basics down, like more please and half the alphabet. I don't know why you'd need more than that.
And hopefully, do you know some vowels? Those seem important.
I mean, they're all like yowls and vowels and a Y. I get it.
Yowls and vowels and a Y. Very good, sir.
Yep.
Anyways, the feature of Zeke Week is... so last week we watched Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader. That was Zeke's pick. And I noticed Ted Raimi, an actor, was in it. So I linked Ted Raimi to Evil Dead and challenged Zeke to find Ted Raimi within Evil Dead 2. And you found him. Where was he?
He plays the character called Henrietta. And I got to, on a sidebar note here, I got to say that just in the last 2 weeks, my streaming recommendations have gone from what I feel like were a great, cultivated, eclectic form of films to now Krampus is my number one recommended next viewing.
Oh, Krampus.
So
you're welcome.
We're doing something right, I guess.
Krampus is actually pretty good. You should.
I have a feeling that the longer we do this podcast, the likelihood of me watching that film will go up.
You know, I think you're probably right.
So no, I did enjoy the movie. I wish that I would have seen it sooner, I guess, but then I wouldn't be talking about it here. I think of the three, it's probably my favorite.
That's definitely my favorite, for sure. Yeah, so for listeners, if you don't know anything about Evil Dead 2, I mean, just go watch it. It's super cool, right? That's all they need to know.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it, especially if you're into the horror genre at all. Like, there's just a lot of things that draw from this specific movie. I mean, you can go back and watch like some classic, films. This is going to be one of them. So
yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. But I did have a question on the rule amendment we made last week.
Yes, sir.
To get out of this quagmire that we've created for ourselves on recommending films based on characters within the previous film, can I, this week, recommend a film based on Lil Raimi?
Lil Raimi. That's just fun to say. Lil Raimi.
Isn't it?
Lil Raimi. Come here, Lil Raimi.
I'm a fan of Lil Raimi.
I like Lil. Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
He does.
He does. I was thinking about that this week, and I guess I'd have to vote no on that. You would vote yes, though, huh?
Well, I had a couple options, and see. If you want to jump right into what my options would be, we can do that. Or if you want to delay it until towards the end, we can do that too.
I mean, first we should figure this out. Why do you think it's a good idea? We already did. That's 2 Ted Raimi movies. Why do you want to do a third? Are you in love with Ted Raimi? Are you going to track him down and give him a smoocher?
I might give Lil Raimi a smooch, but I would say, like, having seen his IMDb list, he has done quite a bit of work. And 2 kind of jumped out at me where I did not realize that he was involved. Both of which being some pretty big films, like Clear and Present Danger and Patriot Games.
Get out of town.
Are loaded. You can prove it. You can prove it if you want to. We can go to the judges. But Clear and Present Danger is loaded with people in that movie that we could just spray around. Like, that'd be easy to get out of this, bottle we're crawling into if you wanted to go that route.
Spray around? What the hell sort of saying is that?
Or if you want me to go down this rabbit hole with you, with the only viable option that I can come up with being Bruce Campbell, and he's done a lot of work as well, that's fine too.
Brucey! Lil Raimi. Brucey! Hey, that's a cartoon too. Brucey and Lil...
Big Chin and Lil Raimi. And because, like, that was one of the endearing things with the trivia, was that, I would watch that cartoon. But it was one of the endearing things about the trivia option is that Lil Raimi was babysat by Big Chin, the old Big Chin himself, because they knew each other growing up, which is awesome. So it's kind of like a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck situation. Or if they would have walked around in public growing up, it would have been Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, who only lived a block away from childhood but never met each other.
I didn't know that piece. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, Bruce Campbell and then the Raimis, and I believe their producer Rob Tappert, which he produces a lot of actually quality horror movies these days. Yeah, they all grew up I'm not sure where in Michigan, but they all grew up in Michigan, kind of doing, what we did as kids, filming just staged little fights and short narratives and what have you. And then once they were pretty young. They must have been, 18 to 20s when they made Evil Dead, and they scraped together $90,000, and they made a pretty groovy little flick, if I do say so myself, which I do.
That is impressive. And, you know what, like they say, even today, there's something in the water in Michigan.
It's a very topical and very classy thing for you to say. Yes, that is.
Nothing if not both of those things.
True. I've always said that about you.
I think it's $90,000 today is quite an achievement to raise just with, a small group of friends. So to do it in the late 70s, early 80s, as they did.
1981. 81
is when it came out, but I don't know how long it took them to actually put it
Yeah, right. You're right. That's a good point.
I mean, to get that amount of money, they must have been working on that for a while. I don't know someone I can go and be like, hey, I want $90,000, and that was almost 30 years ago, Yep. That's impressive. I
believe they got a big chunk from like a car salesman or something. Like, they went just to businesses and just said, hey, explain the situation. I know Bruce Campbell, I read his biography. It's been a long time, but yeah, they were all just, hustling, just going to businesses wherever they could and trying to
That's awesome.
Whatever kind of money they could. And I'm pretty sure it was a car salesman, car dealership that gave them a good, $10,000, $20,000 or something.
That's awesome. Independent film was a different game back then. Now, everybody knows somebody who's making a movie.
Yeah,
but back then, I can't imagine that was very common at all to even meet somebody who had made a feature film.
Probably, especially in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then you explain the plot. Demons possessing. Girl gets raped by a tree. Sure, here's $15,000.
Yeah, I really want to be a part of that. My business will sponsor you.
Yeah. I don't know. They did.
She was barking up the wrong tree, though. That was a rough little go.
Indeed. Do you bark up trees?
Frequently, just a different direction.
I'm not sure I follow. You bark down a tree? Is that what you're saying?
I bark down the tree. I climb up and bark down.
I was just going to ask you, do you climb the tree? Cool. You're like a little birdie. Little bird Zeke.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like a little wood duck, where you climb up to the top and then plunge down.
It sounds like a great life for a wood duck and a Zeke.
Yep, what could possibly go wrong? I nurture them as if they were my own, and then I teach them how to bark down a tree.
The ducks? Or do you have some dogs up there, or your children? Or...
Well, it wouldn't be barking if you didn't have an assortment. So, yeah, to each their own. You got to have an extracurricular.
Indeed. I'm not going to tell you what mine is.
I don't want to guess.
Good. We won't go there.
You've lost so much of your appendages already. I don't want to go down any further than I have to.
Got to hold on to this thumb and pointer finger.
They've served you well so far.
So far. So I do feel like we should not go with a character from that was already... So in this case, Ted Raimi from 50-Foot Cheerleader was the link to Evil Dead 2. I guess my vote is just, I think it's got to be a different character. Are you vastly opposed to that? Greatly opposed?
Yes, but I can see the appeal of it. So I will follow in accordance. And
what if we got to Harrison Ford and we're like, oh, we'll just watch Star Wars, man. Everyone, you know what I'm saying, and then.
Well, the burden of responsibility would fall upon our weak shoulders. So it would behoove us to not do such a thing. But I will follow suit, and we're going to. So what you're saying, I had this little bit, and you shut the door on my toe, and.
Let's hear. What did you have? What Ted Raimi movie were you going to make me watch?
It was gonna be Kalima, choose your death. A Clear and Present Danger or Alien Invasion.
Alien Invasion.
But now it's just Alien Invasion.
Oh, I see. So you were good. So Bruce and Ted were in another movie together. Because,
No, it was just going to be Ted, because Ted was moving. He's done a lot of weird bits. So now Bruce,
yeah.
we're gonna see. I'm curious to see where you take it. So now your assignment for next week, you've inadvertently forced me to choose your death for you, and it's going to be that alien invasion movie.
It's called Alien Invasion.
I think so.
Alien Invasion. I thought it was Alien Apocalypse because you had mentioned.
You know what? It is. I don't have it in front of
Apocalypse.
me. It's Alien Apocalypse.
Golly.
Crap.
Real professional.
I can't even follow my own guidelines. What kind
Hey
of rules
everybody!
are these?
Hey everybody! We got a real professional here. His name is Zeke, and he knows what he is. I should talk. I'm just not so good myself.
I don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing. I mean, Clear and Present Danger. I ain't never seen it, to be honest with you. I know you're like,
That is a
"Hey."
shame.
Is it?
Shame.
Is it?
It's actually it's a very good film.
Okay. Fair enough.
I would argue that it is the second best of the 5 Jack Ryan films that have been made.
Name all 5 of them. Here we go. We got
Hunt for
Air
Red
Force-
October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Sum of All Fears, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit.
Air Force One.
Yeah, that is the unofficial. It's like the Lil Ryan, Baby Ryan, now he's president kind of follow-up. And if you follow the Tom Clancy storyline, that's not even really off book. He did become president, and
He did. Oh, I was right.
yeah, it would just happen to be Harrison Ford, and kind of it falls right into that timeline of where those kind of films were being made.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Zeke, if you can link it through somebody else in Evil Dead 2, then you have won, but I'm afraid I can't allow to follow the text.
I concede. You must drink Kali Ma's blood through Alien Apocalypse.
Kali Ma. That means Kali, she's a Hindi goddess, and then Ma means mother. Kali Mother.
You must suckle
Cal.
from the teat of Alien Apocalypse this week.
Very good. I I've seen a lot of Bruce Campbell films, mostly his starring roles, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe this is a starring role for him too, but I'm ashamed to say I've not seen it.
You know, I hate to judge a film by its cover because most of them these days are complete rubbish. But if I remember correctly, and obviously since I didn't recall the title, I don't, but I'm pretty sure he's the only person on the cover. So I think it's a starring role for him. It's either that or The Creature. I don't really know.
I'm looking. I got a few. I got a few covers. We got Mr. Bruce Campbell himself holding a crossbow and what looks to be a shotgun flamethrower.
That sounds like it looks familiar to me.
And then in another, Bruce, Renee O'Connor must be her name, and then some sort of looks like a praying mantis.
Oh, they are gentle lovers.
Gentle, are they?
Yeah.
I think we're in for a real treat because here I'm also seeing it's the highest rated Sci-Fi Pictures original of all time.
What?
Yep. Was this made? Do you know anything about it? Was it made for TV?
No, I have no idea. I bought it. I bought a tangible copy of it in one of my, hey, you must buy 5 films to get the deal escapades. And so I have no idea. It's sitting next to Bubba Hotep. But I've never actually opened the case, so there might not actually be a film inside. I don't know.
You are a crafty consumer, sir.
Yeah, it's a problem. It is, but I feel like that gorgeous artwork is worth the possibility of being ripped off.
You know, stuff like this is normally my jam, but sometimes just no good, you know. And I hate to say it about my boy Bruce, but from what I'm seeing here on Google Images, not looking too promising.
Very curious and terrified of what my homework is going to be next week.
I have no idea. I can't use Bruce, so I'm going to have to find somebody else. Maybe these praying mantis aliens have been in something else.
Maybe you're going to find, Ivan Raimi in it somewhere.
Oh, there we go. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It'd be good.
Interesting. Well, that's what I remember.
Like a little trepidation in the quiver of the voice there. You brought it on yourself.
I guess I did. But you're bringing yourself. We're deep within my realm, and I don't see how you're gonna dig yourself out of this, buddy.
I'm blaming you for a sinking ship when I handed you the drill. Is what's happened right here.
You picked 50-foot cheerleader, and that's what started this, man. So don't you go around saying, Robbie's making me watch
We live in a current generation where accountability is not a thing. I can blame you for whatever the hell I want and claim innocence. That's what it means to be a millennial.
That hurts my feelings. I'm a snowflake. You know that. I'm offended.
You can't be offended by everything without offending me, too.
So we're both offended?
We're both hurt. It's our parents' fault.
Give me some money.
Don't have any money.
Give me some money. You're a big, successful podcaster. I want money. Give it to me.
You can have all of the money that I made for this podcast.
That hurts my feelings. We haven't made any money.
But it would be yours if we did. Promises mean nothing to a millennial.
Fine. Give me a free college education.
Just don't go to college. Then it's free.
It's true. That is true. Or you can go for like a couple semesters and rack up a whole bunch of debt. And then...
No, the millennial dream is to go for 7 and not graduate.
Yep. Hey, you know what?
But still, it's my fault.
It's always your fault.
I don't know, because I didn't give them the degree and the money for which they spent on graduating. I don't know. Somehow, the nonsense doesn't make sense to me.
You're just a big racist. You hate women, a misogynist. You're a gross person. I need to
Obviously, I'm a white male.
I'm offended by that as a white male. Let's go get some organic fruit, okay?
No.
They'll give it to us for free because they have to.
Speaking of getting things for free because you have to, I believe we have a chapter coming from you.
I was just about to ask, how are we going to segue? How are we going to segue? Our time is running low, is it not?
Well, it is, but, these chapters are the gravy upon which the podcast is served. So
I prefer the frosting on top of the cupcake.
You can have, as long as it's a vomit frosting.
Vomit frosting, peep vomit frosting, of course. And I got it for free, of course.
And then you can do with it as you wish.
Well, thank you, sir. Gravy, frosting, either way, you guys are in for a treat. Zeke,
your gravy.
Listeners, are you ready for The Lost Boy Scouts, Chapter 4? Rufio's.
Oh, I'm ready to just mainline it like I'm in a yogurt shop.
You just interrupted me.
Just start your damn story.
God damn it. Hold on. me.
That's all the time we have for you this week.
Yeah, man. That's been Chapter 4. All right, here we go. Lost Boy Scouts, Chapter 4. Rufio's Big Score. Tink was in a tight spot. Damn, I'm in a tight spot, Tink whispered in her best George Clooney impression. Tinkerbell was allergic to bees, you see. Oh my and oh me, a fairy allergic to a bee? And none of the doctors could agree as to what the best treatment would be. Ah, but now I must slap my knee, for a dose of epinephrine was the key to getting this fairy to again fly as high as a tree. Hey, Rufio, you little bitch, get your stupid bitch ass over here, Tink screamed. Poor Tinkerbell was looking rough. Her whole body was swelling up like a son of a bitch. Her dick suit was about to split its seams. And nobody likes a split dick. What do you want, you tiny demon? Rufio asked with no small amount of disdain as he walked to Tink very, very slowly. Give me some goddamn epinephrine, you fucking twat, Tink mumbled. Her dick suit had split like a hot dog. It looked really gross. Ewy. It hurts me to think about how gross it was. Spit that shit out of your mouth, you fucking fairy. You sound like Nick Nolte after a bender, Rufio said. Tink spit the shit out of her mouth. She had just flown up a pirate's ass 2 chapters ago. So, it's not so surprising she got some shit in there. You try flying up someone's ass and not getting some shit in your mouth. You know, it's occurring to me I should probably read these out loud to myself before I do it here. Anyways, continuing, Rufio thought about it. He didn't like Tinkerbell. Hell, he hated her. But when it came down to the nuts, she was the closest thing he had to a friend. Lord knows all the other Lost Boy Scouts were sniveling worms and their scout leader. Well, that's a story for another day. Probably a chapter or 2. Spoiler alert, it's probably plenty unpleasant for Rufio. Anyways, Rufio decided to do the right thing and assist the degenerate fairy freak that was Tinkerbell. Luckily, Rufio had one thing going for him in this endeavor. The hellish world that was Neverland had a shit ton of pirates on it. And what do pirates love? Pirates love looting, tooting, shooting, and above all else, drugs. Goddamn pirates love some good skag. So, Rufio went down to the docks. It's like 9 p.m. now, so all the pirates are passed out or too wasted to notice the Lost Boy Scout in their midst. There's crates everywhere, and Rufio starts looking at them. The first one had a few kilos of fine china white. The next was filled to the brim with uncut Colombian snow. You get the idea. This went on for a while, crate after crate of temptation, weed, cherry bombs, angel dust, fairy dust, pirate dust, skooma, wench blow-up dolls, Blu-ray box sets, Game of Thrones seasons, holy water, unholy water, lava lamps, acid. Hell, even Jimmy Hoffa was in one of them, alive and well. Anyways, he finally hit it big, a crate chock full of EpiPens. I know. Weak storytelling, but does any of this make sense anyways? At this point, it'd been a couple of hours, so Rufio reckoned he best hightail it back to his little buddy. He sprinkled on some of the fairy dust he nicked from one of the crates and thought his one happy thought, which was this. It was just him, sitting in a chair in a sterile room, nothing bad happening to him, no cocks to behead, no fairies to save, no scout leaders trying to take pictures of him while he slept, just silence. Rufio took off like a jet, but by the time he made it back to Tink, she was dead. A raccoon was nibbling her and her split dick suit. It had gotten half her face and an arm. Well, shit on a crumpet, Rufio said, as he chased the raccoon away. What do I do now? He was pondering the meaning of a crumpet when it hit him like a bolt of lightning. Clapping! Fairies come back to life when you clap. So he began to clap. Etc., etc. Rufio clapped his little heart out. But would it be in vain? We'll find out next week in Chapter 5. And that's the end of Chapter 4. Rufio's big score. Let's bring her back to life. Bring poor Tink back to life, that poor little lady.
I gotta tell you, I think that it's gonna take a different kind of clap to bring this Tink to life.
Now the bolt of inspiration has struck me. Yes, I think you might be right.
So I have one question.
Yeah, sure, hit me.
Last week, Tink took it in the keister from a 1-to-1 ratio B.
Yep, she sure did.
Should it have gotten there in time before the coons got her?
Yeah.
What would the ratio have been of the EpiPen to dear old Tink?
I mean, pretty giant. I mean, what do we look at a syringe and then look at a bee? It's pretty. What would you call that? 50 to 1?
I believe she would call that mouth-watering.
She would indeed. She'd go, oh yeah, bring that right in on me. Bring that in on the Tink.
It's a pirate's life for her.
Indeed.
And that girl needs a lava lamp. If I've ever seen a girl needing a lava lamp, it is the current state of Tinkerbell.
She would love one of those, huh?
I think so. I think she'd just fit right, take the lid off and float around on the inside.
Probably drink, start snorting up the wax or whatever.
She's into some kinky shit.
She's a kinky little fairy, let me tell you.
I believe she's into some Twinkie shit.
Are you referring to Twinkies, the snack?
Oh, yeah. Like, she just flies right through.
Like she did that pirate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's her move. She takes the gravy and leaves.
Or the frosting, depending on what you're into.
She's into everything.
She's into everything. Well,
she puts her nose where it shouldn't go.
Up people's tuchuses.
Right in the keister.
Right in the keister.
All right. Well, we got through chapter 4. We decided that we are Zeke kamikazeing into our film despair, and now is the time where we must depart.
Indeed it is. I know you're all very sad. You were just loving it so much. But thank you for listening. I appreciate
you sticking with us up until this point.
I do as well. Thank you, everybody.
The trailer here, though.
Yep.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, everyone. Bye. See you next week. Bye.
The portions of today's broadcast that you actually enjoyed are brought to you in whole by... Sorry, my hands are cold. Good, though. That's good.
Thank you, Doctor. You know, I was a little concerned that this would be, well, awkward, but I gotta say, you have a gorgeous home, and I just can't wait for dinner.
Oh, please. Call me Kelly. I'm so glad you could make it. It's a 2 birds, 1 stone situation. You needed your physical, and me needing to eat.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes sense. Oh, that's cold. What is that?
Oh, just making some notes for the chef.
I'm not familiar with that. Is that a fancy nurse title? I didn't realize there were going to be others here. Is this a key party kind of thing? I'm a little vulnerable here, standing naked in your dining room.
No need to feel stressed, Tim. You're a fine specimen of a man. Have you had your colonoscopy?
Colon what? These look like surgical marks. Can I put my clothes back on? Isn't this unsanitary to be doing in your dining room?
Not at all, Tim. These are choice cuts.
What are?
You are, Tim. Haven't you been telling me how you feel claustrophobic around so many people in the city? Too many neighbors in your development. I believe that's what you said. And work hasn't been making you happy, and you can't eat like you'd like to?
Well, yes, but I was making small talk, and you're always easy to talk to.
Oh, Tim, we've solved that now.
We've? Who? I thought it was just gonna be us. Is that blood on your jacket?
I am a doctor, Tim.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
All of this is for your own good, Tim.
You know, Doc, Kelly, you're very beautiful, and you've had this odd bottled-up excitement all afternoon. I thought it was for the dinner.
Oh, it has been, Tim.
I must say, with my balls in your hand and you drawing on my body with permanent marker, this is a bit unnerving.
Oh, the shaking is just the result of the kuru, Tim. Don't let your jostled parts get in the way of progress.
It just feels like you're trying to make martini, is all. Wait, what's kuru?
Vernacular. It's the laughing disease, I suppose.
I guess if you're gonna have a disease, that doesn't sound so bad. Is it contagious?
Yes, Tim. But don't you worry. You've been chosen. This is an honor.
Well, pardon me. Well, what kind of... You know, I don't think you should say that to me while I'm in this condition.
Tim, overpopulation and world hunger are 2 huge problems the world over. We've found a way to solve that. And soon, we'll have found a cure for Kuru too.
Who's this weave? And what are you talking about?
Cannibalism, Tim. You're our dinner. I'm going to make your bones into wind chimes and sell them at market after I've sucked the marrow dry. Won't that be nice, Tim? You'll rest eternally outside in the fresh air, and I'll have all of your delicious juices inside me after I've sucked your bones dry. You're doing good things, Tim.
Now hold on, you can't do this. I'm a poison.
No, Tim. Now you're just dinner.
Oh, good. This is all just a joke. Are you going to take off your jacket now?
A girl's gotta eat, Tim. Oh, and it was so nice to meet you.
Solve overpopulation and world hunger with cannibalism today.